going on YouTube? Driven Finsdale here. I just want to get some key points out when swapping your F23 Accord. I think I'm gonna start trying to do these short videos in between the builds that I'm working on, because I get random questions sometimes, and I get it. If you're working on your own car, you may not want to watch my full videos, and then sometimes I skip little stuff because I have done it so many times on the channel, but you may not see it because I don't name the video exactly what I'm doing all the time. Sometimes I'll just be like swapping this motor in, and I'll just put the motor in. So in today's video, I got two topics that I want to go over, and that's pretty much what the title of this video is going to be, which is wiring your injectors from OBD1 to OBD2, as well as why you don't have to switch your intake manifold on a F23 with the F22 one from your CB7. Now this doesn't really apply for 96 and up Accords because they're all OBD2. So H motors, OBD2, anything OBD2 will sit right in those cars. But the older cars, they have the OBD1 plugs, which have like the little clip that you have to pry out with a flat head to get the end off. And then the newer ones had just the push style, so you just pull it off. Anyway, guys, this, if you haven't been watching the channel, this is Project Mistake. And this is a Accord that I picked up for really cheap, and I'm doing a budget, well, I'm trying to finish a budget F23 swap that the previous owner had started, which wasn't going too well. The old engines back there, it's a long story, but if you want to check it out, I will leave a link to that setup in the description. But anyway, guys, for this particular swap in a CB7, I was trying to explain it in a comment before, but I wanted to show you guys so you could get a better visual. But when you're wiring your injectors from OBD1 to OBD2, it's really simple. So you'll have a constant wire that'll stay the same color. On the CB7, that wire is a red wire with a black stripe. See the black stripe? On a OBD2 car, it'll be a yellow wire with a black stripe. Either way, that stays the same. Hold on, let me pull this old harness out. Okay, guys, so this is the harness that came with the JDM engine. They always cut the harness from the JDM motors. This is how they do it. But this is an important part because this will be mounted inside this little casing on the engine, and you'll need the injector plug. So I've already cut these off, but I just wanted to show you this is an OBD2 wiring harness. So the one with the yellow and the black stripe, you see that? Each one has the same yellow and the black, each injector. Yellow with the black stripe, see that? Those will match up, the yellow and the black off of these, the injector clips you cut off, they will match to the red and the black on the CB7, okay? They just change the color, that's it. But the good thing is these colors, the blue, this solid, this one will kind of mess with you a little bit, but it's a solid yellow right there. This blue is solid. There's a red solid right there, and then there's a brown solid right there. All of those perfectly match to the CB7 wiring harness. They're the same color. So when you go to wire in your pigtails, you'll see this one here on the end has a solid yellow, a solid blue, solid red, and then a solid brown right here on the end. See that? So all of those will match perfectly to each other. So that's one way you can tell. I know it'll throw you a little bit when with the stripe, but the best way with the stripe is, remember, the stripe, the one with the black stripe, go with the one with the black stripe. It just changes from red on the CB7 to yellow on OBD2 stuff. So anything 96 and newer will have the yellow instead of the red. But other than that, the blue, brown, solid yellow, solid red, all of those match perfectly to the CB7 setup. Now, another thing to note is anything 90, I don't know if anything 96, 97 does, but I know 98 plus, which is what these engines come from, their injectors don't require the resistor box. So what you got to do is you can just unbolt it. It's a couple tens. This setup that comes off the harness here, it normally would plug right into there. This would normally plug into there. Now, if you don't want to ruin your harness, you don't have to cut this off. What you can do is just cut the one on the resistor box. You can just cut this end off right here and wire all of these wires together. Just cut it somewhere along there, wire everything together, and shrink wrap it real good, and then plug this into your harness. Bam, you're feeding fire to the injectors. So once you got that done, I want to say the biggest problem people have as far as this intake manifold is the outer air control valve being 3-wire, not 2-wire. And I think some people are intimidated by the mounting of the throttle cable bracket. So I think that's why, I'm assuming that's why a lot of people switch them out. But in my opinion, I just like leaving that stuff alone and modifying everything around it to make it work, because it's all one. This is how it came from Honda. This is how I like to leave it. So what I normally do for that bracket, which I haven't done in this car yet, but so I have this piece of metal right here. It's not very thick. It's thick enough so it don't flex too bad, but it's just about 1 inch wide and about 1/8 inch thick. And basically what I do is I'll cut about a maybe 5 to 6 inch piece. And what I do is I mark the 2 holes that's on the manifold itself, drill those out. And then the 2 holes for the throttle cable, I'll mark those and drill those out in accordance to how tight the throttle cable is. So, cause you'll have to shift the throttle cable back a little bit, and that's pretty much it. When I do that, I may make a separate video on that as well to help you guys. But again, guys, I want to explain stuff to you, and doing that and working on the car makes for a very, very long video. So I'm hoping that doing shorter videos in between building the cars will help a lot of you guys out that may be trying to learn from me. But essentially, guys, that's pretty much it for the injectors, man. So if you have any problems, just refer back to this video. It's that simple. It's really that simple, man. It's not complicated at all. If you buy your motor from just someone using it, doesn't have the wire harness, then all you got to do is get any plugs from like a 96 and up Honda, from 96 to like 2002 Accords and stuff, or even Preludes. They all have the same connectors. I want to say even Civics got the same thing in OBD2. So any of those will work. And again, just match those wires up like I said, and you won't have any issues, guys. But if this video was helpful for you, please give it a like, man, and share it with your friends. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Leave a comment and let me know if you want me to do stuff like this, because I do have to delete the box on the firewall. Most of y'all know about the CV7 box, and I'm converting to the original map that comes on newer model Hondas. So if you want to see me do that, I'll make a separate video on that too. But yeah, guys, I will catch y'all later. Remember, respect all bills. Peace out.